Hello and welcome back to Pennies and Salt. I'm Megan and this is my husband,
John.
And today we are going to talk to you about money, specifically with kids, specifically about teaching them about money, how to budget, how to understand it, and we're kind of newbies to this too. But we thought that we would share some things that are on our heart with you today and what we are putting into effect with our own kids to help them learn.
Money in the Bible?
No. Well, actually, sometimes.
Sometimes? How many verses?
Like in the parables.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Which parable?
The lost coin.
The lost coin? Okay, how many verses, if you had to guess, how many verses do you think there are in the Bible?
I know.
What, Asher, what's your guess?
About like. No, how many?
4?
Oh, I'm thinking
50? What do you think, Mark?
5.
5? What do you think?
200.
2,308.
What?
2,308
Is that a lot?
verses in the Bible talk about money.
That's a lot, right? Would you have thought it was that many?
So what does that mean? If God talks about, in the Bible, if God talks about money that much, what do you think that means to God? That it's really what?
Really important.
Really important.
Yeah.
Okay? And he tells us how we should spend our money.
Yeah, like
He does.
on food.
Well, listen,
let's talk about
he
it.
tells us how we should spend our money and also warns us against how we shouldn't spend our money. So if you are new to my channel, you may not be aware of this, but last month we did a grocery budget challenge. Well, I did. We sort of did.
Definitely did.
I'm in charge of the groceries and the budgeting and meal. Well, not the budgeting, the grocery budget and the meal plan and all the things that go with food.
Just eat it.
So I chose to do a budget challenge. I will put a link up at the top to the playlist for that, and I will also put a link to the playlist in the description down below if you would like to check that out. But anyway, so I basically challenged myself, our family, to sticking with a $400 grocery budget for a family of 8 for the month of January. So make sure that you check that out if that's your thing. And yeah, so that's down there. So in the last video of that series, and I'll pop a link up here, I talked a little bit about this. So this is actually the book that goes with the Compass. I almost said campus. Compass Financial Ministries. Compass Financial.
It's probably on the back of the book.
Probably is. It is Compass, but I was trying to Finances Godway. Compass Finances Godway. Anyway, it's okay. So years ago, 10 years ago almost, we went through Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, and it was very transformative to us, very informative. And so we made a lot of changes in our life then. At the time, I was pregnant with our oldest son. So fast forward to when we were about to have our 4th child, and the decision was made for me to stay home. And when that happened, we kind of went off the rails a little bit. Well, not off the rails. It became an afterthought because we were transitioning to a new lifestyle of me being at home. And so that was a big transition for us. So our budget and all of those things, everything that we had learned and everything we knew, we kind of put on the back burner. Well, over the years, that kind of went more and more downhill, and we ended up kind of where we started. Kind of.
Sort of.
Yeah. We still have all the knowledge, and from time to time, we go through seasons where we get back on track. but we just really needed the new heart perspective to go with it, because that was what we were missing. Is we had the head knowledge of how to deal with finances, but I guess you would probably, I know you agree because we've had many discussions about it, that we really haven't focused on the heart lessons and
not at all.
the heart aspect of our finances. So we have been we read this book, and because that's the first part of going through the classes, which our church offers. And this book is actually a really good book. I actually would highly recommend this book, especially if you are looking for a Christian perspective on how to deal with your finances. It uses a lot of the same principles as Dave Ramsey, but it focuses more on the heart aspect. So it's basically like a Bible study with money. So, but I say that, but it's like, okay, so Dave Ramsey, it's very rigid, very like, aggressive.
Practical,
but it is very like a more aggressive kind of,
yeah.
And he does use some biblical principles in it as well.
Right, yeah.
But this uses a lot of the same principles, but in the forefront of it is the heart aspect of your finances. So I think that's what we've both been really excited about, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the chapters in here deals with children and money, and we both kind of came to the realization, I'm talking a lot, but he'll talk some too. But we both kind of came to the realization that while we've always been really open with our children about our finances, age appropriately, at the same time, we haven't really done a very like intentional or diligent job of teaching them how to begin to understand what a budget is and things like that. They know Mom has a grocery budget, and they know, that we don't have room for error outside of that, but they don't really understand budgeting for themselves, and we want them to have that. So I'll let you, do you want to interject anything?
No, I mean, I would just agree with all that you said. So I think just reading that book, we just came to the conclusion that we weren't really communicating that specifically with our children. I would say that they knew some things, but they didn't know the basic things of spending, saving, and giving. They knew some of that. Maybe our oldest knew some of that and had an idea, but, and then earning income, and then understanding where that money comes from and how to budget that essentially in a simple way. We've never really done with them. They don't get paid anything ever. They don't. It's just kind of like if we're out and about and they've been good, essentially you get, or
I'm not. I do want to interject on that because I don't want it to come across. I'm not a treat mom, and what I mean by that is I don't reward for
good behavior or something.
Yeah.
Or every time we go to the store, you don't go buy something.
Yeah, they don't get
just
toys
every
and
once
stuff.
in a while, you might let them pick out a Dollar Tree thing.
If we're at Dollar Tree or if we're at Target Dollar Spot and they ask if they can have something for $1, like that's their limit, $1. Or a pack of gum, or if they go grocery shopping with me, because I try to be intentional about taking kids, like giving them turns of taking one-on-one time with Mom, then I'll get them like a little treat. Costco, we get like a little ice cream thing.
Or if they have change, they might
or something like that. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but we also now what we are planning to do is going to take the place of that. That they will be responsible for those kinds of things now. So
they're basically going to get an income and learn how to what that means to spend it.
So what we have decided is that we don't pay our kids for chores, so to speak. There are expectations in our family that you're gonna put your clothes in the laundry basket. You're gonna pick up your toys when you're done. Those are all expected things because that's part of living. But
when it's done.
yeah. So, but we did decide, okay, there are things that as they are getting older, because our oldest is only 9, he'll be 10 in May, and our youngest is still a baby, so obviously he's not participating yet, but he is on our little chart. But they each can have an age-appropriate job that they can complete or be in charge of completing each and every day to earn, quote, their income. So we want them to learn what it is to have work ethic and how that is kind of naturally rewarded in life. So, but also how to be good stewards of that money that is coming in. So, anyway, so for example, so I made this little task chart. I have yet to laminate it. It's just really simple. Our printer is just black and white, so you get what you get. So anyway, so we decided on a 6-day week. So they have the potential each day they can earn 50 cents if their job is completed. So for a total by the end of the week, they could make $3 a week, which for their ages, I think that that's completely appropriate, don't you?
I mean, I'm not giving them any more than that right now, so it doesn't really matter.
So Tanner's is the laundry every day, just being in charge of starting a load, switching it over, pulling it out, and helping me to fold it. But all the kids it's just part of daily life that they put their clothes away. So that they don't get paid for that. But Asher, his thing is bathrooms, and he takes this on by storm. That has been his kind of designated job for a while, but now he's going to get paid for it. But his is just to make sure that bathrooms are clean. Of course, obviously, he doesn't have to spray them down and wipe them and deep clean them every day, but just making sure they're picked up and orderly and, presentable. And then Marcus is daytime dishes, so we don't usually have a lot of dishes for breakfast or lunch, so just making sure that what few dishes we might have, he washes them and puts them in the drying rack. Sophia's job is she's going to be in charge of just making sure the living room is picked up. She's only 5. My expectation is just that things are picked up and put into their place. I'm not talking about her making sure it's vacuumed and all that kind of stuff. Just making sure that, that things are picked up and put in their place by the end of the day or before company comes or when mom asks. That's what she's been told. And then Lily is only 2.5, going on 20. And so Lily is able and capable of doing small chores, small tasks. And so her task is to clean the table, so to wipe down the table. So she'll just take the Norwex cloth, a wet Norwex cloth, and her job will be to wipe down the table. So, and that will change, of course, as she gets older, and all of these will take on more responsibilities as well as they do get older.
Yeah, because somebody's going to mow the yard when they get older, because I'm not going to do it anymore.
Okay, so basically, if they have completed these tasks, then they have
envelopes to put their money in.
And we actually, and I will share clips of this after we're done talking, or maybe while I'm talking, I'll do clips in here of where we went over this with them tonight. So they have a give, a save, and a spend. And a lot of people I know do like money jars and stuff, like different jars, but
that's a lot of jars in our family.
It's a whole lot of jars.
I don't know where we would put that many jars, actually.
I mean, I guess they could keep them in their room, but I just...
That would not... The money wouldn't stay.
So actually, I had this downstairs. I didn't want to spend any money on this, you guys. You don't have
already
to.
Have the envelopes.
You don't have to. That's the thing. Like, it can be such a simple system. The point is just getting your kids to learn it and
It's cash
you know.
envelopes. Yeah.
So basically, I had this that I wasn't using anymore, and I was like, well, hello, all the give envelopes are in there, all the save, and all the spend. So anyway, so they're in there, and bright colored fun envelopes. Anyway, so say they get $3 for the week. So I'll let you explain this.
Oh, you're gonna let me explain this?
Yeah.
So so they've done their 5 days basically of work, or 6 days. I guess it's 6 days of work. They've earned their 50 cents, so they've done a great job.
Oh wait, sorry, I'm gonna interrupt. 6 days because 7.
Oh, were you gonna?
They are off on Sundays because
It's a rest day, right?
it is a rest
that's
day.
a biblical
It is
thing.
the Sabbath.
So that's the way we're gonna treat it. So.
Yes.
They get that rest day and they don't have to do that.
Sorry.
Yeah, and plus it makes it even too. It evens it out to an even $3, which works out too.
It does.
So, God's design is cool. So basically they're going to get paid weekly and they'll get paid on that Sunday. So by that we'll gather probably Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, depending on, probably afternoon would be my guess. And we will have the cash and change available on that day, and we will pay them each based off of what the chart says.
They'll have payday.
They'll have payday, right? So, and at that point, they will put their envelopes, the money in their envelopes, really somewhat as they see fit, really, because they're going to have $3. We encourage them to put 50 cents in
At
the give.
least.
At the minimum of 50 cents in give, 50 cents in save. And then that would leave $2 to spend. That's just kind of what we advise them, because that's the way we would do it. That we would leave the most for spend, because that's where most of our expenses are. Leave a percentage of that for save and a percentage of that to give.
But this one is first.
Right. Yeah, and that would be where your first fruits go, right? So once again, another biblical principle that we're able to pour into that. But that leaves them, if they did $1 each, that would leave them the extra, if they did 50 cents or 50 cents and then $1 or whatever, they have the option essentially to put more in give or more in save and less in spend.
Which we did already have.
One kid that did that. So I think one Marcus
gave extra give tonight, and one gave extra
save just on their own.
So,
we told them as a startup to the night that we started this off, kind of kicked this off and explained it to them. I'm pounding the table. So I'll pause.
Moving the trap.
Yeah. So we encouraged them to do that, and we gave them each 50. What did we give them? $1.
We gave them $1. So
$1.
they did 25,
and 50.
We did have one kid that had a very difficult time with this.
And he always does.
Well, we had one kid in particular that did not want to put anything in here. And so, that is something that we as parents can do our best to instill in them and teach them that biblically that is the correct thing to do, but it's God working on their heart that will change that.
Right,
so,
yeah, and I think you could see that he was kind of like it was bouncing around. Like 1 minute he would stuff it all in give and then take it all. Then you explain something to him, he would take it all out of give and then put it all in save, and then you were like, no. So he wasn't quite getting it.
And so that was another thing. So I want to explain about the save. So the way that we're doing the save is we've explained to them that this, at the end of the month, that we will take them to the bank, and they will actually deposit what is in their save into their own savings account every month at the end of the month. Just because this will accumulate, and I just don't want this all sitting in here. But also, one of the things we told them is that it says save, but it means save like long-term save. And I don't mean like their retirement. I mean, if they want to turn it into that someday, more power to them. But, like for a car when they're a teenager or, whatever. But that they can use what's in here. This doesn't mean that they go out and spend it immediately, that they can save what's in their spend for, you know, if there is a toy that they want, or if there is a bicycle, or, you know, whatever it is that they're wanting. But when we go to the store, if they go to the store with mom or whatever, then they need to bring their own money if they're planning on buying anything. So there will be no loans. So, anyway, so that is our plan, and we will update you on them.
How this goes,
Yeah, how this goes. So
how's it gonna go?
I'm excited about it. Just because, you know, it was one of those kind of epiphany kind of moments of realizing, oh goodness, like our kids should totally be learning alongside us, you know. And that's one of the things, like I said, that it talks about in here was, you know, modeling that for our children. And that's also a very biblical principle, is that modeling that, but also like teaching them to put it into action.
That's what I was gonna say. The modeling part, being able to do this, also keeps us. I feel like it's gonna help us keep us more accountable, and focus with this to, you know, keep on track with that. Hopefully, you know, that's what it will also. It's just another kind of aspect that we want to model, the give, save, spend kind of idea.
Yeah.
And kind of as they get older, open up, you know, how we do our major budget. You know, one of the cool things that was in the book was like getting out, you know,
a whole month's paycheck
in dollar bills.
And showing,
and then showing the
in
stacks,
piles, all the stacks of this is your mortgage,
which is insane.
This
I personally don't want to do that. That would make me.
I actually kind of do want to do that.
It would be so terrible. Can you imagine all the ones? That's like, I don't remember what movie that was, but there's a movie and they're like, give me all of this.
Oh,
it was somebody who had never $1 bills, and then it was like, give me all of this in like quarters. You know what I mean? And the teller's like, are you kidding me?
Hilarious.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah. So we hope that this was helpful for you today. If you have any comments, questions, anything like that, just stick them down in the comment section down below. Push that subscribe button and that notification bell, and you will know when we have a new video. Thanks so much.